Before I explain this opportunity, I want you to know a little about me. For most of my life, I have had a deep need to tell African and diaspora stories. And this compelled me to write my first book, Echoes of the Past, where I dive deeply into Africa's disruption, the slave trade. Before then, I didn't have the confidence to do it publicly because I have a speech challenge. And even with my record as a successful businessman here in California, that fear stayed with me. So, in my late 50s, I made a big decision. I returned to school to learn how to cope with that speech challenge. I later earned my associate's degree, then my bachelor's degree. And now, I am almost done with my MBA. Along the way, I was fortunate to have a professor who taught us about the real power of YouTube. Most people go to YouTube and focus on the small ad money the platform pays creators. What they don't realize is that when a channel is managed properly, it becomes a powerful platform, one that can market and sell almost anything, including real estate, insurance, and documentaries. With that understanding, I started a YouTube channel called Inside Africans. My niche is culture, history, and education. This is one of the slowest niches to grow on YouTube. Channels like this usually take years to build momentum, but in just 4 months, I earned the YouTube Silver Creator Award right here. As of today, the channel has over 11,000 watch hours, 1.1 million views, and 184,000 subscribers. That is a record. And that growth happened even while I was focused on building the 4,000 valid watch hours required for monetization. Today, the channel is growing faster than 90% of channels in my niche, according to YouTube. By the time I complete my tour of Africa for this documentary that I'm working on, I estimate the channel will reach around 3 million subscribers. Now think about it. That means 3 million people who follow me on my journey across Africa, who wants to know what I do, where I am going next, how I am doing on the road. Every day, these people hear me talk about the documentary. Every live stream, I connect the country I visit and explain how they relate to the documentary. These are people who follow me, and all 3 million will hear for an entire year me talking about the documentary. So here is the real question. When the documentary is finally released, how many of these 3 million people do you think will click that button to watch it? If you say 5, you are being conservative. But let's assume that we only had 1.5 million instead of the 3 million subscribers, and only 5% click to watch the first episode at $9.99. This means on our first episode, we generate $749,250. However, I believe that at the least 50% of these people will want to see a documentary they have been hearing about in the past 1 year. This is not speculation. It's audience behavior, built through trust, consistency, and presence. That is why I am opening the funding founders opportunity. This is not a donation, and it is not ownership. It is founders level participation in the revenue of season 1 origins. Funding founders help ensure this work is done properly with patience, discipline, and integrity. This is not about hype. It's about responsibility. If you understand what it means to build something slowly, intentionally, and correctly, then I invite you to step forward as a founding founder of Inside Africans Origins. I will see you at the beginning.